name's Jeff Ensminger. I've been tattooing a little over 11 years now. I work here in Austin at Resurrection Tattoo on South Lamar Street. I don't know. I always did kind of like more realistic tattooing. Lately, I've kind of stripped it back and approached things more in a traditional manner. It's not traditional tattoos, but definitely a little more bare bones than they used to be. So probably somewhere in between, like integrating the fancy aspects of a realistic tattoo, rendered stuff, and putting that in with the skeleton of a traditional tattoo. Right. Unlimited amounts of money. No. Someone that just, someone that can give me a loose idea. Maybe give me a couple of words, a sentence, just somewhere to start, but then just lets me run free with it. Doesn't try to micromanage and control the situation, because, you know, ultimately you're gonna get a better tattoo that way. And probably Guy Aitchison and Philip Liu. And then after that, I started noticing younger tattooers like Nick Baxter. Younger than them, not really younger than me. Yeah. It was definitely those people doing like that more realistic kind of bio-y kind of stuff. So definitely Guy and Nick. And then later on started noticing more stripped down tattooers, more traditional tattooers. Like Philip Liu was always a big thing, like even in the beginning, but it was like always kind of went back to Philip. Like he really was like, or is like, you know, a genius with what he does, and he can take very little and turn it into the most amazing thing in the world. Right. I'm gonna say Darcy Nutt, and Darcy's gonna laugh at me for blowing her shit up here, because that's all I've been doing this weekend. You know, Darcy's got like a crazy following and a lot of people that, you know, she tattoos, but I don't know. I don't think she gets the credit she deserves. She's an amazing tattooer, and so that would definitely be one person that I would say. Maybe I should say someone that doesn't get as much as maybe she gets, but I don't know. I think Darcy's one of the most solid tattooers out there. Like, I always liked her tattooing, but then when I started to get to see it in person, I was absolutely amazed, like whenever I saw heel tattoos, how good they really were. I got to watch her work, so I want to get tattooed by her. I would say the biggest advice I could give, and this is based off of my mistakes in tattooing, and I feel like that's really all anyone can do, is tell someone where they failed and, you know, maybe time they wasted, and hopefully help someone else out to not do the same thing. And for me, it would be that I'd never had like an apprenticeship. You know, I'm from Oklahoma, and tattooing was illegal in Oklahoma. I was kind of, I hate to say it, but I was almost kind of forced into a position where I basically just had to get equipment and start tattooing. And it wasn't the greatest way, and I really feel like in some ways I kind of wasted about 2 or 3 years at the beginning of my career. And I would say an apprenticeship and also focusing on traditional tattooing, which was something I didn't do because I didn't have anyone there to tell me that. So I basically came out like guns a-blazing, you know, trying to do stuff that I drew and maybe painted before tattooing. And it could work for tattooing if you're a really strong tattooer, but, you know, obviously when you're starting, you're not. But yeah, I would say really focus on the traditional aspects of tattooing and try to have someone there, like a core group of people that can really help you out. I really missed out on that, and I wish I had that. So I know like lots of people, it's kind of like one of those things, like it's almost like a trend to immediately start doing like painterly tattooing, and some of it's really cool, but I feel like really simple stuff deserves a lot more respect than watercolory looking tattooing. And I've done plenty of that, and I'm not gonna say I really like regret doing that tattooing, but I just wished I would have done it. Wish I would have flip-flopped that. Wish I would have started with the simple and then worked my way up to stuff like that. So try not to butcher as many people as you can. Maybe go about it the opposite way I did. That'd be the best thing I could say.
That's great, man.
I feel like, I don't know, in a lot of places there's like a really rad community. And I mean, there's always been. It was always maybe like smaller community than it is now. So it was really tight knit. But because tattooing's gotten so popular, it's awesome that it feels so large. And you can get in good through the internet with people in other countries and like literally become like best friends with them and never even meet them. And I think it was really hard for stuff like that to happen before. It maybe only happened with conventions, and now like, you know, like people can really connect with people without like going over to other countries, and that's really rad, so I like that. And I think it's important. So it definitely makes our job a little easier when it comes to doing a tattoo. You know, it can be really hard whenever people don't realize all the stuff that's involved in a tattoo, what it takes to draw a good tattoo. And so I think that's one of the most important things as a tattooer I can do for a client is letting them know that, you know, things they find on the internet that are really fancy, paintings and stuff they find in books, it can work for a tattoo, but you got to change a lot of stuff about it. And so, you know, I really feel like letting them know that instead of just saying like it can't be done, or, you know, I'm not going to do that. Try to steer them in the right direction, you know, give them a little information why that won't work. Can, you know, definitely be a positive thing for them and for us as tattooers, because it could mean more tattoos to do that we're happier with.
Yeah.
I would hope I could actually do that. I don't know if I am, like probably not, but maybe someday I will. I don't know, the idea of being a part of something that's way older than me, way older than any of us, and the idea of being connected to that and maybe somehow being remembered by people 20 or 30 years from now. You know, we talk about, like I was talking about Philip Liu, the idea of maybe someday even coming close to something like that, being connected with the famous people in tattooing and the things that they did. Like, I mean, that's an amazing thing. I think everyone kind of wants to feel like important in some way. Maybe, you know, hundreds of years from now, who knows, you know. Maybe they'll be talking about tattooing just like they talk about, you know, old master oil painters and stuff. You never know. So, I mean, I like the idea in that. I mean, that's pretty great, you know. I personally have, I try to share as much of what goes into making a tattoo when it comes to like drawing. I try to put a lot of my sketches out there and maybe stage photos of stuff. Hopefully that can help someone to see the process. And I mean, I hope that helps maybe a younger tattooer.